Night finally settles over the Nile Valley, smooth and silent like a dark velvet cloth being gently laid across the world. The last streaks of color disappear from the sky, replaced by a deep, endless blue and shimmering silver stretching far overhead. The air grows cooler, softer, carrying the faint, earthy scent of river water, warm clay, and the distant sweetness of night-blooming flowers. One by one, lamps begin to glow inside the homes, appearing as warm circles of light floating gently in the darkness. Their flames flicker slowly, casting soft, dancing shadows on the walls, making the rooms feel cozy, sheltered, and deeply calm. It's a quiet invitation to rest, a signal that the day's labor is done and the time for peace has arrived. You find yourself walking through the quiet village. Your footsteps are soft against the earth, muffled by the sand. The world around you feels hushed, as if every sound has learned to whisper, careful not to disturb the stillness. The air itself seems to hold its breath. From a nearby home, you hear the delicate, rhythmic tapping of someone sealing a clay jar for the night. A gentle clink, a soft press, then silence. The sound is so precise, so full of care. Inside that same home, a family settles around their small, low table, finishing their final bites of warm, freshly baked bread. Their voices blend into the hush of the evening low, gentle, comforting murmurs that speak of connection and shared moments. It's the sound of a family winding down, their day complete. Farther down the lane, a mother hums to soothe her sleepy child. The tune is ancient, simple, almost like a lullaby the desert winds themselves might sing. Her voice rises and falls in steady, gentle waves, wrapping the child and you. As you listen in, a soft, undeniable sense of peace. It's a melody that has been passed down through generations, a timeless thread of comfort woven into the fabric of the night. A few young men are finishing their work along the riverbank, tying their boats securely for the night. You see them fastening thick, sturdy ropes around clay posts embedded in the earth. The water of the great Nile laps gently against the wooden hulls, creating a slow, rhythmic sound, a soft splash, a ripple, a whispering current flowing steadily toward the distant horizon. The river is alive, but its pulse is calm and reassuring, a constant, soothing presence. Above you, more stars emerge, scattered like glittering grains of salt across the vast, dark sky. Some twinkle softly, while others glow with a steady, fixed light, like tiny, distant lanterns. The constellations shift slowly overhead, creating shapes the ancient Egyptians once believed were gods sailing through the heavens in their celestial boats. Looking up, you feel a connection to something ancient and profound, a story written in light across the cosmos. A cool breeze drifts in from the river, rustling through the tall reeds that line the water's edge. Their thin, dry stalks brush against each other, creating a delicate, whispering sound, so soft, so rhythmic, that it feels like the night itself is breathing with you. It's a natural symphony, a quiet music played by the wind and the river. You continue walking, your senses alive to the subtle details of the village at rest. Near the edge of the settlement, an elderly man sits outside his doorway, sharpening a small wooden tool. His movements are unhurried, steady, methodical, as though he has all the time in the world. He pauses now and then to gaze up at the stars, letting the cool night air touch his weathered face. His presence brings a sense of timelessness to the scene, a quiet, powerful reminder that life here has moved slowly and peacefully for generation after generation. Across from him, two goats settle into the soft, clean straw of their small enclosure. They shift their weight gently, nuzzle into the warmth, and then fall still. Their slow, even breathing blending seamlessly with the night's quiet rhythm. Even the animals seem to understand this sacred time of rest. Not far away, a group of women finishes spreading freshly washed linens to dry overnight in the cool air. The white fabric catches the soft moonlight, glowing faintly in the dark. When the breeze lifts the edges, the cloth sways like soft, silent waves moving across a sandy shore. Everything around you, every small action, every quiet sound moves with the same gentle, unhurried pace. Nothing interrupts the peace. Nothing breaks the profound stillness. The Nile glimmers nearby, its surface reflecting the moon like a long, shimmering ribbon of silver stretching far into the distance. The water flows slowly, calmly, as if it is guiding the entire valley into a deeper, quieter state of rest. The village grows quieter still. The warm lights in the windows dim one by one as lamps are extinguished. Doors close softly, their sounds absorbed by the night. The world seems to nestle into its nighttime rhythm, a collective sigh of contentment settling over the land. You feel the stillness settle inside you, too, feeling like warm sand beneath your bare feet, like a slow, deep breath filling your chest, like the soft, steady glow of a lamp that refuses to flicker out. The night here is not dark or empty. It is comforting, protective, ancient. It wraps itself around you like a gentle, knowing embrace. This is the hour when dreams begin to gather, drifting like mist through the quiet homes, ready to guide every sleeper toward a peaceful, unbroken rest. As you stand under the vast, starry sky, you feel a part of this ancient peace, a silent observer in a world that has mastered the art of stillness. The night holds you, calms you, and promises a deep and restorative slumber. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Follow for more moments of peace. The sun sinks lower, touching the horizon with a soft, melting glow. The sky shifts gently from warm gold to deeper amber, then into a calm, dusky rose. Every moment feels slower than the last, as if the world is exhaling in a long, peaceful breath. The air, once humming with the day's heat and activity, now grows cool and still. A sense of tranquility begins to settle over the land, a quiet promise of the night to come. The day's work is done, and a collective sigh of relief seems to ripple through the very earth. As twilight deepens, you walk back toward the heart of the village. Lamps begin to flicker inside doorways, their tiny flames dancing quietly in small clay bowls. Their orange light glows gently against the smooth, sun-baked mud brick walls, creating warm shapes that sway and soften with each faint movement of the air. These are not harsh, bright lights, but intimate glows, beacons of home and hearth. They cast long, friendly shadows that stretch and retreat, as if playing a gentle game with the coming night. A soft hush falls across the homes like a thick, warm blanket settling over the evening. Inside, the women of the village are finishing the last touches of the night meal. Their movements are unhurried, graceful, and deeply familiar. A clay pot, fragrant with simmering stew, is lifted from the fire. Freshly baked flatbread, still warm and soft, is placed carefully on a woven tray. A handful of herbs, gathered from a small garden patch, is sprinkled lightly over warm dishes, releasing a final burst of aroma. There is no rush, no sense of urgency, just slow, practiced gestures, repeated every night for generations. It is a ritual of nourishment and care, a quiet rhythm that anchors the family and the entire community. The children who earlier filled the dusty paths with their laughter and games now sit close to their families. The boundless energy of daytime has faded, replaced with a gentle drowsiness that settles like evening mist. One young boy yawns softly, his head leaning against his mother's comforting arm. Another child curls small fingers around a carved wooden toy, tracing its smooth surface with sleepy, repetitive movements. Their voices, once loud and boisterous, are now hushed whispers, sharing small secrets of the day with a parent or sibling before sleep claims them. They are content, safe within the circle of family light. In the distance, a farmer secures the last gate of his field. He stands for a moment, wiping his hands on his simple linen wrap, and looks out over the darkening land. The fields are quiet now. The barley, which rustled and whispered all day, sways gently in the evening breeze. The irrigation canals, vital arteries of life, glimmer with the last silver and purple reflections of the sky. He gives a slow, single nod of satisfaction. The land has been tended, the water has flowed, and the crops are safe. His work is complete. With a sense of fulfillment, he turns and begins his walk home. Along the riverbank, a pair of young men make their way back to the village. They carry woven baskets heavy with fish caught earlier in the day. Their footsteps fall softly on the packed earth, a steady, rhythmic sound that blends with the quiet hum of the evening. Their conversation is low and easy, their words drifting into the dusk like quiet echoes. They speak of the day's catch, of the river's currents, and of plans for tomorrow. Soon, they too are absorbed into the warm, inviting glow of the village, disappearing into doorways where family and a hot meal await. Above it all, the first stars appear. At first, there is just one, then another and another, like small, delicate points of silver pricked into a deepening canvas of blue. The ancient Egyptians believed the stars were openings to the heavens, small doorways through which divine light and the presence of the gods could seep into the world. As you look up, the sky feels vast, calm, and truly infinite. It's a humbling and awe-inspiring sight, connecting this small, sleeping village to the great, silent cosmos. The moon begins its slow ascent, casting a gentle, ethereal light that bathes the landscape in a soft, silvery sheen. The last rays of sunlight finally fade behind the feathery tops of the palm trees, leaving the land bathed in a deep, peaceful twilight. Shadows, which had stretched long and thin across the ground, now darken and merge, blending into the comforting embrace of the night. Smoke rises in slow, lazy curls from small hearths and cooking fires, carrying the scent of wood and roasted grains. Soft murmurs drift through the air, the gentle words of a story being told. The steady voices of parents, the small, quiet moments of connection shared between loved ones. This is the hour of peace, when the world unwinds and the night begins to embrace the land. Near the edge of the village, a man tends to his animals one last time before sleep. He pours fresh water into a heavy clay bowl for his ox. He pats the strong, gentle neck of a donkey, whispering something soothing as the creature settles into its bed of clean straw. He checks on the chickens, ensuring they are safely roosted for the night. Even the animals seem to move more slowly now, lulled by the coolness of the approaching night and the familiar, reassuring presence of their keeper. His chores are a final act of care, a closing of the day's chapter. Once more, you become aware of the sound of the Nile. It is a constant, a presence that is always there, but in the hush of the evening, its voice is clearer. You can hear its soft, steady flow, a calming, eternal rhythm. The river's surface reflects the final hints of twilight and the first blush of moonlight, shimmering gently like a bolt of dark silk drifting in the wind. Along the banks, tall reeds sway lazily, their tips brushing against each other with quiet, whispering sounds, as if sharing the secrets of the river. This great river is the lifeblood of the land, and in the quiet of the night, its power feels both immense and profoundly peaceful. Everywhere you look, everywhere you listen, the world is winding down. It's not an abrupt stop, but a gradual, smooth transition, as though the entire village is sinking gently into a shared dream. The night hasn't fully arrived, yet it's still just beginning. But its presence is felt, edging in softly from the deserts and down from the star-filled sky. It brings with it a deeper calm, a richer stillness, and a peaceful, universal invitation to rest. The cycle is complete. The sun will rise again, but for now, there is only this profound and beautiful peace. The land, the people, and the river breathe as one, held in the quiet, restorative cradle of the night. The afternoon light begins to soften, turning into a warm, golden glow that drifts gently across the village. The shadows grow longer, slower, stretching out across the earth like quiet fingers of dusk. A gentle coolness begins to settle into the air, replacing the warm breath of the day. This is the most peaceful moment in ancient Egypt, when the sun prepares to descend and the world slows into a deeper, quieter rhythm. You walk along the riverbank once again, where the light reflects off the surface like ripples of liquid gold. The breeze is cooler now, brushing softly against your skin, carrying the faint scent of lotus flowers and wet earth. A fisherman pushes his small reed boat toward the shore after a long day on the water. He gathers his nets slowly, carefully, shaking off droplets of river water that sparkle in the fading sunlight. Each movement is gentle, steady, peaceful. He ties the papyrus rope to a wooden stake hammered into the soft mud, his hands moving with a familiar ease that comes from a lifetime spent on these waters. The boat rocks softly, its journey complete. Nearby, a family sits on woven mats outside their home. A mother prepares the evening meal, stirring a pot of lentil stew over a small fire, adding herbs one by one. The aroma rises softly into the air, mixing with the faint smell of smoke and warm clay. She adds a pinch of cumin, then some dried coriander, her movements unhurried and full of care. The scent of cooking bread also joins the evening air as flatbreads bake on a hot stone beside the fire, puffing up slightly as they cook. A young boy helps grind spices in a small stone bowl, his hands moving in slow circles. The sound is rhythmic, calm, blending perfectly with the evening atmosphere. His older sister sits beside him, weaving a small basket from dried reeds, her fingers moving with a focused, graceful rhythm. Their father mends a broken tool, the quiet scrape of stone against wood, adding to the symphony of domestic life. Farther down the path, goats return to their small enclosures as a shepherd leads them with soft, guiding whistles. Their hooves tap gently against the ground, creating a slow, steady rhythm, like a heartbeat resting deep in the earth. The animals seem to know the way, their bells tinkling softly as they move toward the comfort of home. The shepherd, a weathered man with a kind face, pats the head of a young kid that nudges against his leg, his quiet affection a testament to the bond between him and his flock. The golden hour light touches everything, the mud brick walls, the reeds, the boats, the people, turning each detail warm and gentle. Nothing feels rushed, The village is wrapped in a glow that feels almost timeless, like a warm blanket spread by the setting sun. The textured walls of the houses seem to soak up the light, their imperfections smoothed over by the soft, forgiving glow. Even the dust motes dancing in the air seem to be made of gold, swirling slowly in the final rays of sunlight that filter through the palm fronds. Near the edge of the village, two women carry clay pots filled with water from the Nile. Their steps are unhurried. The water inside the pots sways gently, creating a quiet, sloshing sound that blends with the distant calling of birds returning to their nests. They walk side by side, their conversation a low murmur that fades into the evening air. Their journey is a daily ritual, a constant and grounding part of life here, connecting them directly to the lifeblood of their world, the river. A flock of ibises flies overhead, their wings flapping slowly, gracefully. Their silhouettes drift across the glowing sky, moving toward the tall palm trees where they will rest for the night. They form a perfect V against the deepening orange canvas, a living hieroglyph written across the heavens. Their calls are soft, almost mournful, yet filled with a sense of homecoming. You follow a small pathway leading to a raised hill just beyond the village. From here, the entire landscape spreads before you: fields, homes, river, boats, all bathed in the warm light of the sinking sun. The green of the irrigated fields looks richer, deeper in this light, contrasting beautifully with the pale sand of the desert that lies just beyond the fertile strip. The Nile itself is a ribbon of molten copper, snaking its way through the land. The view is panoramic, a living tapestry of civilization and nature existing in perfect harmony. The sky transforms into soft shades of orange and pink, blending smoothly like pigments on an ancient painter's palette. Clouds drift lazily across the horizon, glowing with subtle hues that shimmer like fine gold dust. The colors deepen with each passing moment, shifting from fiery orange to soft coral, and then to a gentle lavender that brushes the edges of the coming night. There is no sharp end to the day, only a slow, beautiful fade into twilight. The sounds of the village have softened into a low, hum-the distant laughter of children, the gentle bleating of a goat, the crackle of a dying fire. These are the sounds of a community at rest, secure in the rhythms of its existence. The air itself feels still, holding its breath as the sun finally dips below the horizon. leaving behind a lingering warmth in the sky. As you breathe in the cool evening air, you feel a deep sense of calm settling inside your chest, a gentle stillness flowing through your thoughts, like the slow, steady current of the Nile itself. Your own breathing slows to match the pace of the world around you. Worries and distractions seem to melt away, replaced by a simple awareness of the present moment. You feel connected to this land, to this time, to the quiet pulse of life that has thrummed here for millennia. The day is ending, but it ends softly, kindly, like a whispered lullaby stretching across the land. The village prepares for night, and the ancient world glows under the last tender light of the sun. Stars begin to appear, one by one, pricking the darkening velvet of the sky. The first few are faint, but soon they shine with a brilliance known only in a world without electric lights. They seem close enough to touch ancient guides in the vast, silent expanse above. A sliver of a moon rises, casting a pale, silvery light that outlines the palm trees and the rooftops. The fires in the village now burn as bright beacons in the growing dark, their flames dancing and casting flickering shadows on the walls of the homes. Families gather closer, sharing stories or simply enjoying the quiet companionship of the evening. The scent of wood smoke hangs heavy in the air. The work of the day is done. The time for rest has come. You remain on the hill, a silent observer as night fully claims the land. The sounds of the village fade almost completely, replaced by the chirping of crickets and the gentle rustle of wind through the reeds along the riverbank. The Nile flows on, a dark, mysterious presence under the starlight, its surface reflecting the celestial lights above. It is a mirror to the cosmos, a timeless witness to the endless cycles of day and night, life and rest. In this profound stillness, you feel a connection not just to this moment, but to all the moments that have come before. Generations have watched this same sun set over this same river, have felt this same peace settle over the land. It's a feeling of being part of something vast and enduring, a single thread in a magnificent, ancient tapestry. The coolness of the desert night deepens, a gentle reminder that the world is turning, and a new day will eventually dawn. But for now, there is only the quiet, the darkness, and the profound peace of an ancient Egyptian night. This moment of tranquility, held between the fading light and the deep dark, is a gifta silent blessing from the land itself. The intense warmth of the midday sun begins to soften, its fiery breath giving way to a gentler golden glow. As the afternoon unfolds, the shadows, once cowering beneath the sun's peak, start to stretch again. They move slowly, gracefully, reclaiming the ground, painting long, elegant shapes across the dusty earth. The world of ancient Egypt, which had slipped into a quiet slumber during the hottest part of the day, awakens once more. The reawakening is not abrupt, but a gradual unfolding, like a slow ripple spreading across the surface of still water, quiet and subtle. You find yourself walking away from the grand temple, its towering pylons now casting long protective shadows behind you. A shaded path, flanked by low mud brick walls, wins its way back toward the heart of the village. Your footsteps are light, almost silent, leaving faint impressions in the warm dust that are quickly erased by the faintest of breezes. This gentle wind begins to stir high above in the date palms. It brushes against their long, feathery fronds, creating a soothing sound, a slow, swaying whisper that seems to fill the air with a profound sense of peace. The rustling leaves become a natural melody, a lullaby for the waking world. Back in the village, life resumes its familiar, unhurried rhythm. People emerge slowly from the cool darkness of their homes, their movements relaxed and deliberate. They stretch their arms toward the sky, adjust their simple linen garments, and blink softly. Each gesture is filled with a sense of calm purpose, as if time itself has slowed to match the gentle pace of the day. Near a low, open-air workshop, two craftsmen are seated cross-legged on woven reed mats. Their focus is absolute, their hands moving with an practiced ease that speaks of countless hours spent honing their skills. One of them is shaping a long, slender strip of wood, meticulously carving it into the curved frame of a new bow. His knife glides with patient, careful strokes, peeling away soft, curling shavings that fall like pale feathers onto the dusty ground around him. Each cut is precise, a testament to his deep understanding of the wood's grain and tension. His companion is engaged in a different task. He polishes a piece of smooth, dark stone, intended to become the head of a tool. He dips it periodically into a small bowl of water, and as he rubs it with a piece of leather, the stone gleams and shines in the sunlight, its surface becoming as smooth as glass. The sounds of their work are soft and rhythmic, the gentle scrape of the knife against wood, the soft whisk of polishing, and they blend seamlessly with the quiet hum of the afternoon breeze. There is a simple, profound harmony in their shared labor, a quiet dedication that feels almost meditative. Nothing breaks the calm. Nothing disturbs the peaceful atmosphere of their focused creation. A little farther down the path, near the entrance of a modest dwelling, a woman sits before a large wooden loom. Her fingers, nimble and sure, move with a steady, practiced grace. She is weaving threads of fine, pale linen into a long, smooth cloth. Her movements are a gentle dance forward and back, pulling the shuttle through the threads, pressing the weave tight, a soft breath accompanying each action. The rhythmic tapping of the loom echoes through the quiet air, a sound like a steady heartbeat, calm and grounding. It is the pulse of the village, a sound of domesticity, of creation, of life continuing its timeless pattern. Nearby, a potter is at his wheel. The small clay wheel, set low to the ground, turns with slow, steady pushes from his bare foot. On its surface, a lump of wet gray clay begins to rise, transformed by the gentle pressure of his hands. A vessel emerges from the spinning mass, its shape forming gracefully, its walls thinning and rising beneath his knowing touch. The wheel spins with a quiet, almost hypnotic whir, and the wet clay glistens in the warm light, reflecting the world in its slick surface. When he finally lifts his hands away, the pot stands complete, smooth, symmetrical, and perfect in its simplicity. It is a beautiful, timeless object, born from earth, water, and human skill. As you continue your walk, the narrow village path opens up, revealing a breathtaking view of the river. The Nile, the lifeblood of this land, glows with a soft afternoon shimmer. Its vast surface is calm and placid, reflecting the deepening blue of the sky like a sheet of gently polished bronze. Several boats drift slowly along the water, their large, triangular sails catching the breeze in broad, silent curves. They move with an unhurried elegance, traversing the great river as they have for generations. On the banks, fishermen, their bodies relaxed and their movements unhurried, pull in their nets. They work together with a quiet understanding, their actions synchronized and efficient. They sort the days, catch gleaming silver fish of all sizes with calm, steady hands, their voices a low murmur that barely carries over the water. The air near the river feels cooler, fresher, carrying the scent of water and wet reeds. You pause at the water's edge, closing your eyes for a moment, letting the gentle symphony of sounds wash over you. There is the soft, rhythmic lapping of water against the shore, the distant, mournful creak of wooden boats as they rock on the current, and the slow, melodic call of river birds drifting high overhead. Not far from where you stand, a young girl is sitting on a smooth, flat stone at the river's edge. She holds a handful of lotus petals, their delicate pink and white hues vibrant against her skin. One by one, she places them gently into the water, watching as they float away. Each petal becomes a tiny boat, drifting slowly, carried along by the silent, invisible current. A soft, serene smile plays on her lips as she follows them with her eyes, watching until they become small specks in the shimmering distance, eventually disappearing into the vast expanse of the river. The entire landscape feels suspended in this moment of perfect, tranquil stillness. Every sound is soft, every movement is gentle. Everything flows with the quiet, understated elegance of an ancient world. A world shaped by patience, by harmony, and by a deep connection to the rhythms of nature. You take a slow, deep breath, feeling the profound calm of the river settle into your chest, a welcome coolness against the day's lingering warmth. You feel the soft heat of the sun resting gently on your skin, a comforting blanket. You let the pervasive peace of this ancient afternoon sink deeper and deeper into your thoughts, washing away any tension, any worry. The day continues its slow, inexorable journey toward evening, but it moves softly, without any sense of urgency. It drifts onward with the gentle, unhurried pace of a slow cloud floating over the timeless, endless Nile. And in this moment, you are a part of it, a part of the stillness, the harmony, and the enduring peace of this ancient golden land. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey, please like, share, and subscribe for more peaceful escapes. As the sun rises higher in the sky, the land begins to glow with a soft, golden warmth. Shadows shorten and the air grows still, filled with the steady hum of life. It is midday in ancient Egypt, a time when everything slows and even the river seems to pause in its long journey north. You begin walking back toward the village, following a wide path lined with palm trees. Their tall, slender trunks cast cool patches of shade across the dusty ground. Every few steps, a breeze drifts through, carrying the quiet rustle of palm fronds overhead. The sound is gentle, almost like the soft brushing of feathers. A little farther along the path, the village becomes quiet. Many people have returned indoors to rest from the warmth. The world seems to exhale, settling into a deep, peaceful stillness. Somewhere nearby, a pot of cooking lentils simmers slowly over a low fire, releasing a warm, earthy aroma that blends with the smell of sun-heated clay. Ahead of you stands a small temple, simple in shape, yet deeply serene. Its walls are smooth, carved from limestone that glows softly beneath the midday light. Statues of ancient gods stand at the entrance, their calm expressions facing the horizon. They radiate a silent, timeless presence, steady, eternal, and protective. You step through the doorway into the shaded interior. The temperature cools immediately. The air becomes thick with the scent of burning incense, warm and resinous, rising in delicate curls toward the ceiling. The light inside is dim, filtered through small openings high in the walls. Dust particles drift lazily in the sunbeams, moving like tiny golden stars suspended in the air. A priest sits near a low altar, preparing offerings for the day. He moves with slow precision, placing small bowls of water, bread, and lotus flowers before a carved statue. Nothing here is hurried. The rituals follow a rhythm as steady as the Nile, repeated day after day, century after century. Outside the temple, the world remains quiet. A group of children plays in the shade, drawing simple figures in the dust with thin sticks. Their voices are soft, faint, drifting like distant echoes. One child holds a small clay toy boat, pushing it gently through a line drawn in the sand, imagining the great river. You continue your walk around the temple grounds. The stone beneath your feet is smooth, warm from the sun. Nearby, a lotus pond sits perfectly still, its water reflecting the sky like a polished mirror. Large pink blossoms float on the surface, their petals spread wide and calm. A single dragonfly glides just above the water, its wings shimmering quietly in the light. For a moment, everything becomes perfectly silent. No wind, no footsteps, just the deep, timeless peace of this sacred place. You pause, letting the stillness settle inside you, letting it spread through your chest, your shoulders, your breath. The world of ancient Egypt feels vast and eternal, yet gentle-shaped, not by noise or speed, but by patience, by harmony, by the quiet flow of water and time. Standing here in the heart of this calm land, you feel your mind soften, your thoughts slow. Your body begins to loosen, as though drawn into the same peaceful rhythm that has guided this land for thousands of years. The midday sun continues its slow arc overhead, warm and steady, and the quiet temple grounds hold you in a cocoon of deep, grounding tranquility. Let this moment of peace wash over you, a connection to a time long past, but a feeling that is eternally present. Feel the history in the air, the whispers of stories carved into stone, the enduring spirit of a civilization built on the rhythms of nature. The quiet hum of life continues, a constant, reassuring presence. The warmth of the sun-baked earth radiates up through your feet, grounding you to this ancient place. You feel a sense of belonging, a part of the endless cycle of sunrise and sunset, of river and sand. The statues of the gods, silent and unmoving, seem to offer a silent blessing, a promise of stability in a world that is always changing. Their presence is a reminder of the enduring power of belief, of the human need for something greater than ourselves to look toward. The scent of frankincense from the temple now mingles with the faint, sweet smell of the lotus blossoms from the pond. It's a complex and beautiful fragrance, a perfume of peace itself. You take a slow, deep breath, drawing this ancient air into your lungs, letting it fill you completely. As you exhale, imagine letting go of any tension you might be holding. Let it dissolve into the quiet atmosphere of this sacred space. The children's soft laughter is the only sound that punctuates the silence now. It's a sound of pure, simple joy, a reminder that even in the shadow of great monuments and ancient gods, life is made of small, beautiful moments. Their game in the dust is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, finding play and happiness in the simplest of things. Their imaginary boat sailing on a river of sand is a symbol of dreams, of journeys, both real and imagined. You watch the dragonfly for another moment, its delicate dance over the water, a marvel of nature's design. Its shimmering wings catch the sunlight, creating tiny flashes of iridescent color. It moves with a purpose that is its own, a tiny, living jewel in this tranquil scene. The stillness of the pond, broken only by this gentle movement, deepens the sense of peace. The water holds the reflection of the sky, a perfect, unbroken blue, mirroring the vastness above. As you stand here, you become aware of your own heartbeat, a steady, quiet rhythm within you. It seems to synchronize with the slow pace of life around you, with the silent passage of time. You are a part of this moment, fully present, your senses alive to the beauty and serenity of your surroundings. The weight of the world seems to lift from your shoulders, replaced by a feeling of lightness and clarity. The priest inside the temple continues his timeless rituals, his movements a form of prayer, a meditation in action. Each gesture is filled with meaning, a link in an unbroken chain, stretching back through generations. This dedication, this quiet service, adds another layer to the profound peace of the temple grounds. It's a reminder of the power of routine, of finding the sacred in the everyday. The shade from the palm trees offers a gentle reprieve from the sun's warmth. The rustling of their fronds is a constant, soothing whisper, a natural lullaby. You feel the cool breeze on your skin, a welcome touch that carries the sense of the earth, the water, and the incense. It's as if the land itself is breathing a slow, deep, and steady breath. In this moment, there's nothing to do, nowhere to be, except right here. You are completely immersed in the peace of ancient Egypt at midday. It is a peace that is not empty, but full of history, of life, of quiet beauty. It is a peace that nourishes the soul, that calms the mind, and that reconnects you to the simple, profound rhythms of existence. Let this feeling of deep, grounding tranquility stay with you. Carry it with you as you continue your journey, a memory of a time and place where stillness was a virtue and peace was a tangible presence. The sun continues its journey across the sky, and the quiet heart of ancient Egypt beats on, timeless and serene. Thank you for joining this moment of calm. If you enjoyed this experience, please like and subscribe for more peaceful journeys. As the morning settles into its warm, gentle rhythm, you continue your quiet walk along the edge of the village. There is no hurry here. Each step feels soft and unforced, carrying you deeper into the calm heart of ancient Egypt. The sky has taken on a pale, glowing blue clear and endless above the flat horizon. In the distance, you hear the muted sound of wooden wheels rolling slowly across the earth. A farmer leads a simple cart pulled by two patient oxen. Their thick hooves step carefully in the soft soil, leaving deep prints that fill gradually with loose grains of sand. You follow a narrow path leading toward the open fields. The path is lined with tall papyrus plants, their thin tops swaying gently in the breeze. Their soft movement creates a quiet, rustling sound, like thousands of whispering voices speaking in unison. The smell of green plants and fresh water fills the air, calm and comforting. Out in the fields, life moves at its own peaceful pace. Farmers stand ankle-deep in moist soil, guiding water from the canals into small, square plots of land. They move slowly, using wide wooden tools to steer the flow. Water glimmers in the sunlight, forming calm mirrors that reflect the sky. Birds settle along the canal's edge, dipping their heads into the clear surface. Nearby, a group of workers harvests tall stalks of barley. They bend gently, cutting each stem with small bronze sickles. The sound is soft, a faint, repetitive whisper as the blades move through the dry grass. Bundles of grain are tied with thin ropes made from woven reeds. Each completed bundle is placed carefully in the shade of a large acacia tree. Despite the work, the atmosphere remains unhurried, steady, balanced, deeply peaceful. Every movement has a purpose. Every gesture follows the ancient rhythm of the land. A little farther ahead, a woman tends to a patch of flax, pulling weeds with calm patience. The blue flowers of the flax plant sway lightly. When the wind brushes through, the field ripples like a quiet ocean. She pauses every now and then to stretch her back and look across the fields, breathing in the warm morning air. Along a raised walkway, you see a scribe sitting with a palm leaf basket beside him. Inside are small clay tablets and wooden writing boards coated in smooth plaster. He dips a thin reed brush into a pot of black ink made from soot and water. Then, with slow, deliberate strokes, he begins to write. Each hieroglyph forms with careful intentions, silent, beautiful, timeless. Behind him, two boys splash in a shallow corner of the canal. Their laughter doesn't disturb. The comet blends with it, adding a gentle warmth to the already peaceful atmosphere. Closer to the river, a fisherman pushes his reed boat into the water. The boat glides smoothly, barely making a sound. He casts his net in a wide arc, the rope sliding quietly through his fingers. The water ripples, then returns to stillness. Above everything, the warm sun climbs a little higher, bright but gentle. Shadows stretch slowly, moving across the earth like long, drifting shapes. A light breeze carries the scent of mud, grain, and distant incense burning in a small shrine near the village entrance. As you stand in the middle of this calm world, the quiet rhythm of the fields begins to settle inside you, too. The steady flow of water, the slow movement of workers, the soft whisper of the wind through the crops. Everything blends into a peaceful harmony, like a lullaby carried by the morning air. Allow your mind to sink deeper into this serenity. Let the stillness wash over you, warm and grounding. The day in ancient Egypt moves forward, slowly, patiently, peacefully. In the gentle hush of dawn along the wide, slow curves of the Nile, a new day begins in ancient Egypt, quietly, patiently, with the same peaceful rhythm that has guided life here for thousands of years. Tonight, as you wander through this calm world, let each detail drift softly through your mind, guiding you toward rest. You begin your journey on the cool riverbank, where soft light spills over the surface of the Nile. The river moves with an unhurried grace, its waters reflecting pale shades of early morning gold. Birds glide low across the calm surface, their wings barely disturbing the silence. Here, mornings do not rush. They unfold gently, like a slow breath. Beyond the rustling reeds, simple homes rise from the earth's rectangular structures made of sun-baked mud brick, warm in color and familiar in shape. Their walls hold centuries of quiet stories. These houses look as if they have grown naturally from the land itself, shaped by careful hands and softened by wind, sand, and time. Inside one of these homes, an oil lamp flickers awake, casting a warm golden glow across woven mats and low wooden stools. A woman moves slowly beside a grinding stone, pushing grains of emmer wheat in steady, circular motions. The sound is soft and rhythmic, like a quiet heartbeat woven into the morning. Nearby, a young boy steps outside, carrying a clay jar. He walks barefoot across the cool ground toward the river to gather water for the day. His steps are gentle, leaving small, fleeting impressions in the damp sand. The air is still cool, holding the faint, clean scent of river plants and fresh earth. The people of this ancient land begin their day the same way they have for centuries, quietly preparing for the hours ahead. Bakers press dough into round, flat loaves and place them inside clay ovens, still warmed by the night's glowing embers. Farmers gather their simple tools, carved from wood and bronze, ready to tend the fields that stretch toward the far horizon. Life here moves in cycles, as steady and dependable as the river itself. Nothing begins suddenly. Nothing is ever hurried. Along the narrow sandy paths between the homes, neighbors greet one another with warm, silent nods. A potter sets freshly shaped vessels in the soft morning light to dry. Their surface is still cool to the touch, carrying the earthy scent of wet clay gathered from the banks of the Nile. A shepherd guides a small flock of sheep through the awakening village, their soft bleats echoing gently against the sun-warmed mud-brick walls. The morning light slowly spreads across the land, revealing the vibrant green fields nourished by the river's annual flood. Farmers examine the intricate irrigation channels, carefully dug canals that guide life-giving water into patches of barley, flax, onions, and herbs. These channels require constant, patient attention, but every movement is slow, purposeful, and calm. As the sun rises a little higher in the sky, the village becomes a quiet weave of steady, peaceful activity. A woman sits in a shaded doorway, weaving linen fibers into long, thin threads. A fisherman on the riverbank repairs his nets with practiced, unhurried patience. A scribe steps out with a wooden palette of ink, preparing for a day of writing careful, elegant, hieroglyphic signs. No one rushes. No one presses time forward. Every task is done with the soft steadiness of a civilization shaped by the river's patient, timeless flow. Even the soundscape around you is gentle. The soft bristle of straw brooms sweeping across dirt floors. The faint splashing of river water against the reeds. The quiet whisper of palm leaves shifting in the light breeze. As you walk through this peaceful scene in your mind, allow each sound and each image to settle like warm sand. Let the rhythm of this ancient world guide your breathing, slow in, slow out. The morning has fully awakened now. A soft golden glow spreads across the flat rooftops, reflecting off the calm, glassy surface of the Nile. The day moves forward with the same peaceful certainty that has carried this land for millennia steady, warm and deeply grounded. Let yourself drift now, carried by the gentle current of this ancient river. Feel the peacefulness of this dawn seep into your body and mind. The sun is rising, but your journey is turning toward sleep. Imagine the warmth of the Egyptian sun on your skin, a comforting weight that invites you to rest. The sounds of the village are a distant lullaby, a soft hum of life that reassures you all is well. The air is fragrant with the smell of baking bread and blooming lotus flowers from the river. Every breath you take is filled with this calming, ancient air. With each exhale, you release any remaining tension, letting it dissolve into the quiet morning mist. The steady rhythm of the grinding stone, the gentle bleating of the sheep, the whisper of the wind. These sounds weave together into a blanket of peace, wrapping you in comfort and security. Your mind is calm, your body is heavy, and you are ready to let go. The Nile continues its slow journey to the sea, and you continue your journey into deep, restful sleep. There is nothing to do, nowhere to be, but right here in this moment of perfect tranquility. The day is just beginning in this ancient land, but your night is settling into a profound and restorative peace. Sleep now, and let the timeless serenity of the Nile carry you through the night. Rest well,